up their butts a little bit, and that fired them up. Was that how it worked?
It's a nice way of putting it, I think. And, I think we all got a little frustrated, but, you got to credit them. They played really hard today, and I think really outplayed us, for the first 8 innings. And I was just, disappointed that, offensively we weren't doing much, and we let some things happen to us on defense where they weren't errors, but there were plays that we didn't make. And so, a little disappointed there in the middle of the game.
At what point did you look down and realize you didn't have a pitcher? Wyatt went down right there. Did you have a kind of a moment where you think about get somebody warmed up?
Well, I think at one point when I yelled at Errol, I said, hey, you're the tie and run. I don't know if you realize this, but you're the tie and run. And that was, a couple batters before he got up. And once we got to that point, I wanted to make sure, just that he was ready. But he was already down in the pen. And obviously he can get loose fast, and I think with so much adrenaline running through the stadium, it would have took about 3 pitches. But that's one of the things I think will get lost today, and all the excitement is how special he was this weekend. 2 saves and a win, pitching 3 days in a row against your arch rival, Mississippi kid. What a terrific weekend for Wyatt.
Anderson probably.
That's another story that will get lost, no doubt. And we all know, we've had our issues besides the 5 or 6 guys, and he really bridged it there. And part of talking about what you're thinking about in the 9th inning, I think we're thinking about the 2 runs that we let out, where we could have got down to the 9th at 5-2, but Evan really held it together and gave us the opportunity.
Getting the sweep, especially the late today, I guess starting to find yourself a little bit.
I hope so. Those are the questions that I always say. My patented answer is we'll see. We'll see down the road, and what games that really kind of turn your season. I laugh at the guys that think we're 4 wins now, the longest win streak of the year. Ironically, it's amazing. But we're playing much better now. You can see that. The kids are playing confidence. And today, again, maybe on a game that we didn't play well early, there was enough on the mound with Weathersby, and he didn't pitch that great to keep it close and to keep them, from extending the lead to a point where we couldn't come back. So.
How much of playing well now is just we got so many new faces?
Well, I think offensively, there's no doubt that's a huge factor. I think everybody swings better in April and May than they do February, March. You look, every year, ERAs balloon, batting averages go up, regardless if you have a young team or not. But I think certainly the young guys, Keith told me we had 27,000. For the young guys to walk out on that the first, couple weeks, we inter-squad in front of 100. So, I think, there's a learning curve for some people, but obviously they're playing a lot better now.
You waited a second to pitch run for Austin. You got a pretty good secondary off second and read that pretty well.
Terrific. And the reason for that, we had already played Lurtig, and Perkins was in as the DH. And, when we were ready to lose the DH, at that time, and wasn't really sure, that was the right move. And sometimes it comes to get you because maybe a slow guy like Austin doesn't advance, but once he advances on that, you got to go for it. And you got to put your fastest guy in. Fortunately, we had still a fast position player that could take that.
It's 2 outs there. You kind of just let the lineup play through. Did you ever think about Wayne House for Errol or try to do something to get one swing? Or
no, I think when you get to this point in the season, you start to know the guys a little bit better, and nobody's got a flair for the dramatic more than Errol, and I mean that as a compliment. I mean that's why he's so good. He had a terrific weekend, obviously, but he's his best when the game's on the line. And right now that's our best 9. And so we did one I think a pinch hit Lurtig, in that inning. But besides that, and you really honest with you with Watson. Still we're down by 5. He needs at bats because he might be playing for a while, and he hadn't been playing regular. So there's a few reasons for those.
I was going to ask you about that. Do you know more about Connor today?
I really don't. It's a strained oblique, and doctor saw him last night. They put him on some medicine, some treatments last night. Absolutely no way he could play today. I don't think there's a chance he could play on Tuesday, but I don't want to get ahead of myself. to be the proverbial football day to day. But I wouldn't think that he could have a chance to play before this weekend.
You know, you might throw on Tuesday.
Is that funny? Like, I was going to